Hello and welcome back to Vampire, the Requiem Louisville. Um, when we took the break, right before the break, um, you're the person you were here to watch had actually walked up to your table, and now he's standing there. He says, "Hello, Dee Dee. How are you?"
I'm doing good. How about yourself? What can I do for you?
"I'm just enjoying a drink or two.
Yeah,
Who
that's what we came here for.
who is this?" And he points over to Hillary.
Oh, this is my new friend Hillary.
You realize you don't actually know this guy's name.
Right.
He's never mentioned his name. "Oh, nice to meet you, Hillary. You can you can call me Colin. Uh, I just wanted to remind you, you had mentioned that we were going hunting soon."
Right. We haven't talked about a time yet. I thought you were going to give me a call or a text or something.
Oh, well, since we're both here, um, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, I don't really have any plans. I got my show on Saturday, but after that, I'm free.
uh, you free on next Sunday then?
Yeah, I'm free next Sunday, as far as I know. If I don't get myself eaten by a werewolf, which, I've got no intention of
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, that whole thing's getting annoying fast. Uh, so why don't we get together next Sunday and go out to the woods outside of town and see what we can, or who we can bring back.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Um, since I know all the places you normally go, where would you like to meet?
Well, hell, why don't we just meet up here?
That works. Although we don't really want to fill up on blood from the bar if we're gonna.
No, we can just meet out in the parking lot.
That that works. Then we can go get our drink the old-fashioned way, as it were. Makes you
Uh,
wonder though where this place gets it, because they go through quite a quantity of blood. So it's like,
well, maybe the bartender knows someone at the blood bank. Maybe they got a little deal going or something. I
I'm possibly. Your guess is as good as
don't
mine
know.
on that one. Um, so, but yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. Well, see you then.
Uh, you got my number. If something comes up, you can text me.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. And I will do the same if I end up busy, although I don't foresee that happening. Oh, how's your door, by the way?
How did you know about all that?
Drove through your neighborhood.
Oh well, it's going to get replaced. Uh, That's what I was talking about. Maybe getting eaten by a werewolf, which I hope doesn't
Uh,
happen.
yeah.
Somebody did today or yesterday on my porch.
Oh, really? That's what that was.
Yeah, that's what that was. Leftovers from a werewolf attack.
I wonder why they decided to have a snack on your specific porch.
Well, that I couldn't tell you, but kind of wish they hadn't. It was a little bit of a mess.
I'm imagine so. Uh, oh, how are our four cop friends doing, by the way?
Oh well, I hope they're getting on all right. Corvus is keeping an eye on them. I think.
Oh, you haven't heard anything from them since?
No.
Okay. I thought one of them, at least one of them, might have stayed in contact with you.
No, I haven't heard from them, but hopefully, hopefully they're doing all right.
I imagine if they weren't, you'd have heard something by now.
Yeah, probably.
Well, if if a cop is not doing okay, you'd have probably heard it on TV by now.
I mean, cops running around draining people would probably be on the news. Yeah,
Yeah, wouldn't be something the police department would be too happy about.
I wouldn't think so. Not a not a bit.
Plus, they really wouldn't want to know the implications of that.
Right.
So, because I think they got enough to worry about with werewolves. And, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a lot to worry about right now.
Don't think they want to think about the possibility of there being vampires on the police force.
No.
I think the rest of the police force would resign at that point.
I don't think most humans want to worry about the possibility of there being vampires on the police force.
It's like werewolves are killing them, and then they find out that they've got vampires amongst themselves. It's like, oh,
Right, and God forbid a cop should be attacked by a werewolf and survive, because then there'd be a werewolf on the police force too.
I,
That would be a whole nother thing.
I think all the human cops would resign at that point. They'd just be like, you know what? Not. Um, well, I'll let you ladies enjoy the rest of your drinks. And like I said, if anything changes, we can text each other. But other than that, I will meet you here Sunday. What? A little bit after sundown, or
Oh, yeah, why don't you give me an hour or so to wake up and all? So,
uh, why don't I'll probably be headed here, so why don't I give you a text when I get here and see where you're at in the process, and
all right, that works.
we'll go from there.
All right. And I'll just
So,
drive on down and meet here.
yeah, we got to decide whose vehicle we're taking. You got you got a pickup truck.
Right.
Nah, I've got a Jeep, but I think it's smaller than your pickup truck. Um, but I don't know that we're bringing anything back with us, are we?
Probably not. I mean,
You, you don't do the leftover thing, do you?
well, I mean, I don't act occasionally, but we don't bring the whole damn human back. Just
Right.
yeah,
Storage is an issue when you try and do that. Not to mention
that's
the mess.
that's what thermoses are for.
Yeah, that's true. So, oh, um, I saw the uh, I'm gonna watch the YouTube version of your show later. How'd it
Uh,
how'd it go? How'd it go?
you might want to skip this one. It didn't turn out too great, but sometimes things happen.
Well, yeah, cooking's cooking.
The dessert came out all right.
There you go. What was it you tried to make?
Fried catfish.
I would have thought that'd be kind of hard to mess up. What?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened, honestly, but
Well, um, better luck next show, I guess.
thanks.
But
I was pretty distracted over the whole finding half a dead human on my porch thing. So
well, yeah, that can mess up your day. I suppose having to have the cleanup crew come through and uh, yeah.
yeah,
Maybe you should have pushed your show up for a day.
yeah, I didn't think about that. Maybe I should have.
Yeah. Well,
But
huh.
Hillary was there to help me with the, recording and all. So
Oh, so that's what you do, huh? She's like, yep, brought in specifically for that.
then
Well,
I saw her and decided to hang on to her for a little longer.
and then she smiled and he looks at you like, I know what you're up to. It wasn't anything about your damn show. He's like, well, yeah, I'll let you ladies enjoy your evening and I'll see you next Sunday.
All right, meet you here and we'll
Yeah.
go get a bite.
If we're lucky enough to track something down. So, and he nods and turns and heads back to his seat that he was in on the other side of the bar. And Hillary's like, so that's the guy?
Yeah,
Doesn't seem like too bad of a guy to me.
no, he actually is a little less creepy than he was first.
She's like, we're all vampires. We can be creepy when we want to
True.
be.
sometimes scaring them is part of the fun of the whole, fighting
Yeah,
the human thing.
humans are easy to scare. All you gotta do is,
Shit, all you really have to do is smile at them.
yeah, really. And if they're like, oh, cute fake fangs, then you make the eyes turn red, and then they're like, I'm out of here. But then they find out you can run faster than they do.
Well, by then it's a little too late for them.
Yeah. Oh, I don't mind chasing one every now and again. Because when you catch them, then they really freak out.
Right.
You know?
Well, the one I like to do, especially with people that are not very nice, I sometimes find one that's being an asshole to someone, and I like to
Yeah,
do the whole hands around the throat, hold them a few inches above the ground so their toes are dangling, not quite touching the ground.
yeah.
That scares the shit out of them.
Especially when it's somebody your size. It's like, and the guy's like, 6'2" and big head dude.
Right. That's always a fun one.
Yeah. And it's usually his girlfriend that he's being a jerk to. So it's like, and the girlfriend just sort of stares at you at that point. It's like, humans are so weird.
But I mean, we did used to be them, but that does get harder to remember the longer you're one of
Well,
us.
I sort of like this because it's schedule sort of easy to remember. you, you just remember to go to bed when the sun comes up and get up when it goes down. And
Right.
but then again, I spend most of my time behind the computer in an office, so I don't like this. Is maybe the second time I've gone out after becoming a vampire. It's like to, the problem you have when you're like really good at something and everybody wants you to do it. Then
Right. Yeah. Oh well, I've had some fun being a vampire. A while ago, Merce and I went up to the well-to-do neighborhood and fed off a couple of really drunk rich young people. That was fun.
I bet they're still wondering what the hell happened. Not them specifically. I mean the
Right.
rest of the people in the neighborhood.
I mean, the next evening wasn't too great for a little while, but
Yeah. Oh, did you end up drunk?
yeah.
Nah. Got to avoid those kind of things. Because you never know what fucked up drugs some humans take in.
Right. Well, these were just really drunk college kids.
Yeah. Uh, just as long as it's just alcohol, because if you get a college kid that's like on something serious, you could have a problem.
Right. No, luckily it wasn't that. Just- oh God, can you imagine a bunch of coked up vampires running
Okay.
around? That was
Oh, how about the four of your cop friends?
oh God. That would be awful. They do a drug bust and bite the people. No, no.
Yeah, that could go really bad really fast. Uh, so what do you want to do after this?
Well, I know what I want to do. What do you
Well,
want to do?
that's what I just asked you. What do you want to do?
Well,
I have a good idea what you want to do, but I pretty much had that idea since I walked in your front door earlier
oh,
today.
was I that obvious
Tonight,
about it?
yeah, you were. I may look like I'm young, but I'm like 65, and I've had a few, and yeah, you were pretty obvious about it.
Wait, you're 65 and let me see. I'm about 60. I mean, I was 40 when I was
Yeah,
turned 20 years ago. So, hey, that
yeah,
puts us about the same age.
yeah, we're about 5 years apart.
Right. So,
It's just that I was turned a lot younger than you were,
yeah.
and I've pretty much done a little bit of everything in 45 years. So, yeah, or 40 years.
I've done a little bit of pretty much everything since I was alive. So,
Yeah. Well,
but somehow it's more fun when you're, now that I'm dead, somehow. I don't know how to explain that.
well, you can take a few more risks without the possibility of seriously injuring yourself. And plus, if you don't get staked in the process, you can live for a long time and do a lot more stuff.
Oh, that would suck if someone staked you in the middle of sex.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that would just be dirty.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't end up dying, you just end up paralyzed from
Right,
it.
that would be a dirty trick. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at spotting the hunters. I kind of know I have a good feel for those people. I know to avoid them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things you got to learn pretty damn quick is how to spot people who are out to hunt and kill vampires.
Yeah, there's about three of them around this town. They each have small crews that wander around. Uh, not too bright, I gotta say. It's
Well, it's a pretty high risk job, so yeah, they probably not the brightest people in the world probably don't choose to do
well, the really bright people don't think we exist.
it. Right, well, that's true.
It's only the rather lower intelligence ones that you tell them they're like hunting dogs. You give them a rifle and say go that way, and that's pretty much what they do.
Right.
Um, so if you got three brain cells, you can avoid them fairly easily.
Yeah, well, which is a good thing
Well,
because
see,
I don't want to be staked. I mean,
really, what we ought to do is start hunting them because they wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
right.
Yeah, like you, you know, walk up to one of them and they pull a stake out and you like break their arm and
Right.
then bite them and they're like, hold it. That's not how this is supposed to go.
No, the trick is to do it before they even get the stake in. Cause I don't care if it only paralyzed. I don't want to be paralyzed, and it sure as
Well,
hell's
no,
gotta hurt.
well, no, I'm going. They get up to this point where they're holding it out, and then you just snap their wrist and it
Right.
falls to the floor, and
Oh,
then
I thought you meant they pull the stake out of you. You mean
no,
they pull it out? Yeah,
no, it's
okay.
like before they even get that far.
Yeah, I don't want to get that far. I mean, hell, like I said, even if it only paralyzes you, it's still gotta hurt like hell.
It
Have
does,
a freaking sharpened stake in your heart.
and and what they really don't like is when you come up behind them and they don't even see you till you get there.
Right.
Cause your average vampire hunter's slow as shit.
Almost, well, compared to us humans, are slow as shit in general.
Well, most 99% of vampire hunters are human anyway,
Right.
except for like the seven and such like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've heard of them. I don't think I've ever seen one, and would rather not because those guys are crazy. But yeah, I've
Well,
heard
yeah.
of them.
Oh, and if you start seeing rather large looking owls flying around, we got a problem.
Oh, I've heard of them too. The Strix, right?
Yeah.
Again, haven't seen them, but heard about them. I mean, that's sort of part of being a vampire is your, sire.
Yeah.
Theoretically, your sire's supposed
Yeah.
to tell you about all that stuff.
Right. So, unless you want another drink, I guess we should be headed out of this place.
I'm ready to roll. You are?
Works for me. Can only have so many cups of blood. And,
Right.
yeah. So the two of you say goodbye to the bartender. Your admirer sort of nods at you as you stand up.
Like I wave to him and tell Hillary, I'm like, I'm taking a little risk meeting this guy by myself next Sunday. I hope he doesn't try anything.
Uh,
He seems all right, but
oh, you sure you want to do this by yourself?
well, I mean, that's kind of what he's expecting.
Well, why is it you're doing it?
He wanted to talk to me about something, so I suggested we just go hunting and then have a talk. But
Okay. Well, I could. He hasn't seen my car. I
that's
could.
true.
I could follow you guys.
What kind of car you have? I mean, it's not real conspicuous. Is it? You don't have like a Lamborghini or anything.
No, no. I have I have a forest green Chevy Mustang that's electric.
Ah,
Now, gotta keep up with these things.
right.
Uh, and I don't think he would think there was anything weird if there was a Mustang following you. They're all over the freaking place.
Right. I'm sure that's true.
So I could follow you guys. And if he tries anything stupid, we'll just take him out.
We could probably do that 2 against 1.
Yeah. And he wouldn't expect me to show up.
True.
So I don't think we have a problem.
Well, that works.
Plus, I've got a couple of steaks in my trunk.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. My
You're not
grand
7. You're not 7, are you?
no.
Good.
Granddad's a woodworker. He also doesn't believe there's vampires.
Oh, really?
So he like, here, just keep these in your trunk just in case. So
So I'm assuming then he doesn't know you are one?
no, he doesn't. He thinks they'll work against werewolves, and I can't really convince him that they won't. So
Well, I mean, maybe if you dipped him in pure silver, they would, but
I don't want to try and get close enough to stake a werewolf.
javelin.
Right. Because, they can like rip your head off if you get that close.
Oh, I know. There's been recent news footage of exactly that happening.
So, yeah, don't think I'm going to, get close enough to hug the thing. So,
No.
no.
Now, my question, well, no, that would be a stupid question because of course it would. I was going to say if a werewolf's in human form, would shooting it with a silver bullet kill him then? But of course it would because being shot with a bullet, silver or not, is going to kill a human.
Yeah. And you kill a werewolf, they turn back to their human form. But
Well, I mean, if you find out who's a werewolf and then you kill them in their human form, it'd be easier to kill them then than as a werewolf.
but sort of makes you, feel sad when you see the dead human-looking guy laying on the floor. But
Yeah, except for if he just tried to rip your head off a minute ago, then you don't feel so bad about it.
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it sucks. You find out that your boyfriend's a werewolf.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
Well, shit, for all I know, because like I said, the guy that was killed on my doorstep looked old enough to have been a member of our community. Well, shit, what if a werewolf was too? Maybe what if it was an 80-year-old werewolf that killed this guy on the doorstep?
Happens to be the guy that lives in the house across the street. Yeah. Maybe that's why it ended up on your porch.
Yeah, that would be something.
Just, started across the street and sort of migrated over. You don't know how many werewolves you have as YouTube followers at this point either.
That's true. I might have a few.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be weird?
Well, I do a lot of dishes with meat, so
Yeah. Yeah, I'm beginning to think this whole this whole senior neighborhood thing's a little weirder than people think it is.
I'm beginning to think that myself.
You got vampires and possible werewolves and but I've always said that humans are stranger than anything else anyways.
Well, yeah, I guess I could agree with that. You
Because
do have some strange ideas.
vampires and humans kill for food. Humans kill for stupidity. Yeah,
True.
you know.
Although these werewolves seem to be not necessarily just killing for food, they're just kind of on a rampage, which is a little
Well,
weird.
yeah. Yeah, there's something different about this, but we haven't found that out yet.
No. But yes, personally, when I've killed, it's always been for food.
Yeah, me too. Except for that one guy. Found a guy on the other side of town who was selling drugs to little kids.
Oh,
He's not selling drugs to little kids anymore.
or anybody, I'm assuming.
He he's still alive. He he needs drugs now. He doesn't sell any of them, but he's in enough pain.
Oh, you didn't kill him?
Uh, I wanted him to suffer,
Oh, there you go.
and he's doing just that. I'll eventually kill him when I get tired of seeing him suffer. You don't mess with little kids.
Well,
Per-
no.
period. No. When, you know, they're teenagers and they've seen a few cheesy vampire movies, then we can talk about it. But, you know,
Oh, well, no, then it's fun to just scare them, even if you don't want to eat them. Just scare
mm,
them a little, you know?
oh, could you imagine? And she like does a little schoolgirl pose in her uniform. It's like, could you just imagine what I could do if I walked into high school?
Oh, well, you wouldn't have to chase anybody, I can tell you that. The guys at least would be throwing themselves at you.
Be really fun to walk into a high school Halloween party. I bet I could find a prom date in under 5 minutes. Be like,
Oh, you could.
yeah,
Well, there'd probably be, guys having fist fights over you.
yeah. There is an advantage to being a young redhead in a schoolgirl outfit. Yeah. Can be fun if you.
Speaking of which, want to get out
Yeah,
of here?
sounds good to me.
We still got a little bit of night to go here before the sun comes up.
That's true. It's actually about maybe 1 a.m.
Oh, we got quite a while to go then.
Well, you did your show at 10 and you've been hanging around the strip club for a little bit. And so it's like 1 in the morning. So you guys walk out of the place, cross the parking lot, and head for your truck. Give me a perception or intelligence and wits roll. I keep wanting to say perception, but vampire doesn't have that.
Okay, that's 3 successes. One of them's a 10. Okay, so 3 successes total.
You get out to the parking lot, start to get in your truck. You look across the street from the parking lot, and it's this. It's it's a parking lot that leads to an alley, but it's parking lot of an old appliance store that's no longer open. And you see this circle of maybe 6 or 8 humans, and for a second you think you're watching watching a scene out of an old movie, because one of them's got a actual torch in his hand, and the others have like baseball bats, and it looks like they've surrounded something because they're all in a circle. And yeah, you hear this. Uh, One of them swings the baseball bat, uh, and you hear this. Like, you know what the sound is when a dog gets injured? They do,
Yes.
they do that, right?
That, yeah.
You hear that all the way across the street in your truck as you're getting into the truck. What do you do, if anything?
Um, I'm gonna hop in the truck, spin it around so the headlights are facing that little group, turn the headlights on full, and lean on the horn.
They stop, but instead of running away, they turn your direction and start heading across the street toward the truck.
Well, at that point, I'm just gonna peel on out of there and head
Um,
for home.
do you try to avoid them, or you try to not avoid them, or
I'm not paying much attention. If I hit one, I hit one.
uh,
I'm just trying to get out
uh,
of there fast.
roll? Give me a drive roll if you have any points in it.
I actually do. And I got 2 9s.
So you got 2 successes while driving. Were those 2 successes to avoid hitting people, or to actually try to disperse this group the hard way?
Well, considering what they were doing, I'm trying to disperse the group the hard way.
You see one of them, baseball bat in hand, hit the front of your pickup truck as you're driving through the group. Uh, do you try and stop and see what they were swinging at, or do you just head home?
Oh, well, since Hillary's in the passenger seat, I'll ask her if she sees what was going on, what they were trying to hit. Have her take a look and see if she can see them, see what was going on there.
She's, yeah, I can. She rolled 2 10s and a 9. She's like, it's a werewolf, but it looks like uh, it's not big enough to be a grown up human.
It's a puppy.
Well, it's a werewolf,
Well, that's
but
what I assume juvenile werewolves are called,
yeah,
pups. I
right.
mean,
It's definitely a child. Because even from what I can see from here, it's not big enough to be a grown up.
is it still laying out there?
Yeah. Because the grown up would have took those guys out without breathing hard.
So, okay. Where are all the people that were beating on it? Are they still around or they run off?
You ran over one of them.
Right. Well, that I meant the rest of them.
The rest of them ran away. The one you ran over is dead
Right.
because
Well,
you
I would
ran over
assume
him.
so. So if
But
the rest of them ran away and they're not
yeah,
around right now,
yeah,
and as much as the whole werewolf vampire thing, I don't care. As a kid, I'm gonna jump out, grab him, put him in the truck with us,
so
see how injured he is.
you're gonna drive over to across the street to the the parking lot slash alley where they were,
Right.
and you guys do that.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, it has a severely injured leg. Uh,
Is he in human form?
no.
Damn it, I was gonna say we should take him to the hospital, but we can't take him to the hospital like this.
Um,
I
I
could take him to a vet, but I don't think there's I don't think there's any open right now.
he he will eventually, or it will eventually revert to human form. They don't. they don't just stay permanently in werewolf form.
Right.
It's one leg is pretty crooked looking and the joint is bleeding and it's just sort of laying there in shock.
So it's conscious or unconscious?
Its eyes are open, but it's not moving.
Okay, well, ideally, like I said, I really should take him to the hospital, but I don't think that's gonna go over real well right now.
No.
Um,
Uh, for some reason, I'm blanking on your Haley.
oh, Hillary?
Hillary, that for some reason I went blank on that. I wanted to call her Harley, and I'm not. I know that's not it. Uh, but Hillary's like, you think we should call Corvus?
Oh, yeah, that's. I wonder if he knows a kindred doctor who could do something.
In fact, I've got even a better idea that I just flashed in my head. We should call Hanley. He's, from what you tell me, Hanley is rich.
Well, yeah, he's got money.
He has a large house outside of town. We could take this creature to his house and he he might have he could keep it there and it could be safe and he might know a kindred doctor that
Well, he probably, if anyone would, other than Corvus, I'm sure Hanley would. He knows lots of kindred, lots of things.
yeah
Uh, Not sure how his dogs are gonna feel about this, but
well you might want to give him a text
oh,
or a
I'm
call.
gonna call. I'm gonna call him.
Yeah and
Uh,
and I will call Corvus and give him a heads up.
all right, so I'll call Hanley. You call Corvus, and if Hanley gives us the okay, we'll take this
Yeah,
thing over there, and then we're
yeah.
free to do whatever we want.
And if Corvus wants to come to Hanley's house, the two of them can figure out what is best.
Right. Well, I hope at least one of them knows, doctor who can deal with this kind of
Well,
thing, because that doesn't look good to me.
well, I'm sure they both know kindred doctors, but whether a kindred doctor knows how to work on a werewolf is another question altogether.
Well, really, something like this, broken bones gonna be
Yeah,
the same with a human or a werewolf or a
r-
vampire.
right,
Well, actually, a vampire is just gonna heal up on its own. But
right, yeah,
it's gonna be about the same for a werewolf as a human, I would think.
right.
And since vampires were human, then they should know something about that.
So,
Maybe I should bandage it up somehow first before we move him into the truck.
well, you can definitely make uh, there's a medicine. You can
Hmm.
make medicine roll and see if you've got any dots in it.
Yeah, I have one.
Well, roll one dice and see what you get.
Yeah, let me see about that here. Nope. Got a 5.
Ah,
Oh,
well, we got to move it. It's gonna hurt a little bit,
it's gonna hurt him.
but we got to move it.
I know. So if I had, hang on a second. Let me just. I might have a board or something in the back of my truck. We could slide him on like a stretcher just to carry him to the truck.
Okay.
So we don't have to, because that way it'll be at least we wouldn't be holding him by the leg.
Right. Give me a investigation roll to see if you can find whatever you need to find.
Investigate. I don't think there is an investigation. Wits and intelligence. Oh, there is an investigation. Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
I've got 2 dots in it. Nope. Straight failure.
Well, you don't seem to find anything in your truck.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure. It was a thought. So I guess, unfortunately, one of us is going to have to grab this
Uh,
poor thing by its leg.
Actually, if you want to search around the parking lot and the alley and see if there's anything.
Well, that can't hurt. I mean, the guys that did this are gone, so I'm not too afraid of them coming back right
Right.
now.
So give me another investigation roll.
Okay, that was 10. Okay, so 1 success.
Over by the door of the old furniture store that used to be there. Well, actually, in the door of the old furniture store that used to be there, there's like a plywood plank that they used to board up the door with. You could actually quite easily remove that from the door and
Right. A lot easier than a human could.
yeah.
All right, so
It's nailed into the door frame. An actual human would have a serious problem trying to pull it out.
so we'll get that, and then of course
Give,
the side that the nails aren't on, try to slide him up on it.
give me a strength and dex roll to see if you can manage to do this.
Strength and dex. Okay. Oh, okay. Apparently not. Get this, okay? I got 1 success and 3 ones. So that's a botch.
You are not the physical type. Harl,
Hillary.
Hillary looks at you and is trying to keep herself from laughing. She's like, really?
Yeah, some vampire, huh?
Yeah. She's like, let me give this a try. She actually gets 1 success, which is enough to yank the thing out of the doorway. She's like, here.
Well, that was embarrassing.
Yeah. She's like, and I and I work behind the computer all day. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so you guys load the young werewolf on there. As you are loading it on there, you find out that it's in fact a little girl werewolf, uh, which means when it changes form, it's probably gonna be like a 10 or 12-year-old girl from the size of it. And you, as gently as possible, load her into the back of your truck. Uh,
I'll get my phone and call Hanley. Hope he picks up. Hope he's here. There.
he rings a couple times and then he picks up. Dee Dee?
Hey, Hanley. Got a little bit of a situation and kind of hoping you could help considering there aren't any hospitals that can or will do anything about this particular thing. we
He's like, what in the world are you talking about?
I've got a juvenile, very injured little werewolf here.
What?
Yeah, a bunch of humans were beating on the poor thing, and of course I had to intervene. I mean, I didn't know what was being beaten on, but I knew it was humans who were doing it, so I didn't think it was anything good. And this little werewolf, little female kid, little puppy, was they broke her leg pretty bad.
And you thought my place would be the safest place for her?
Yeah, I mean, it's out of town a little bit, got big area, and I was kind of hoping you might know somebody who could help her because, like I said, I can't take her to the hospital, just not in human form.
Well, yeah, you'd. That'd be an explanation I'd like to hear.
Yeah,
Well, this is an interesting situation. But yeah, at least temporarily bring her here.
right. Well, I mean, at least until she turns and we can get her to a hospital.
Oh, yeah, but even then, if she was in a hospital and they started poking her and wanting to do tests and stuff, she might turn back on them and
Oh, that would be bad.
that, yeah.
Oh, Chase, it's okay. It's okay. He's over there having nightmares. You're okay.
She, you know, they go to take blood and she freaks out and turns back. It's like,
Yeah, they wouldn't know how to deal with that. That's for sure.
and then you'd have to explain the whole thing over again.
She obviously couldn't deal with those assholes that were doing
Well,
this
yeah.
to her. And like I said, it'd be nice if you knew someone who could help because it's leg's a mess.
Well, bring her here and then I'll, while you're on your way, I'll start making phone calls.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Hanley.
And uh, Hillary is like, well, Hillary says before you hang up, Hillary's like, ask him if he wants me to call Corvus.
All right, so I'll say, if you want us to call Corvus, you think that would help?
Uh, let's see what we're dealing with here because I don't want to get a little girl involved in vampire politics, if you know what I
Right.
mean.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, before we get Corvus involved, let me take a look at her and see what I see who I can get a hold of and see what we can do.
All right.
If I think getting all the Corvus is necessary, I'll do it myself.
All right. That sounds good.
You two, if he wants to know, you two weren't involved in this.
All right. You think that's necessary?
Well, could get messy otherwise.
All right. Well, thanks for looking out.
And considering you've already had one werewolf trauma for the day, it's like,
Right.
yeah.
And considering I might have maybe kind of run over one of the humans with the truck.
Oh, yeah, you weren't involved. You weren't even in the area. You weren't involved. Uh, you, you and Robertson were at your place. You, you weren't involved in anything.
No, we weren't we weren't at your club or anything tonight.
Well,
Gotcha.
because it's not like the rest of that group is gonna say anything. Because, oh yeah, we were beating up a werewolf, and then
Right, we were beating up a 10-year-old girl. Yeah, that was
with
over real good.
with baseball bats, and then somebody ran one of us over. Yeah, I wanna. That's not a conversation anybody wants to have. So,
No.
uh, so you drive out to Hanley's place. He he's waiting for you on the front porch, and you also see another familiar. You see another familiar face and one you don't know. The one you do know is Magnus. He's standing. The other one is a man you've never met. So you pull you pull into the driveway and and open the doors, and the two of you hop out of the truck and walk up the path, and Hanley and Magnus are like, you two go in and take a breath and we'll bring her inside.
All right, thank you.
And the man you're not familiar with follows you into the house. Um, luckily, Magnus and I were already here. Um, I'm Magnus's doctor.
Oh, all right. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you could come.
Yeah, we were here on another matter. Um, even though New Orleans and um, Louisville are considerably distant, I'm one of the few kindred doctors in the area. Uh, in case you're wondering, there aren't any in Louisville.
There aren't at all.
No.
Well, that's a good thing to keep in mind. I'd better not get myself hurt real bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, one of Hanley's staff has taken ill, and so
Oh, can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Is it like flu-like symptoms by any chance?
In fact, it is
Oh shit, things are really not looking good.
quite severe flu symptoms, actually.
Cause my sire, she had to take off for who knows how long. Cause an uncle of hers, who's also one of us, has that exact same thing.
He's like not very, he's literally a few miles down the road. He's like, and you say there's another one that's having similar symptoms?
Yeah.
How long has this been going on?
Well, she left a couple days ago. I don't know how long he's been sick.
Hmm. And wh- where is this?
I don't think that was ever something that was mentioned.
Well, um, she's actually like a few miles down the road.
Oh, okay. I thought she took off and was like far away, drove like states away or something.
No, she's like maybe 5, 10 miles down the road.
Oh, okay.
She's just on the outer edge of the wealthier neighborhood that
Oh,
Hanley lived in, which you didn't know her family had money, but and therefore, by extension, your family had money. Uh, you did. You had never been told this before, but yeah, she's like 5 miles straight down the road from you. She just had to stay because her uncle was ill and nobody could figure out what the hell's going
hmm
on. So, uh, uh, hmm, that's not good news.
no, not at all. This is actually kind of worse news than I was expecting for tonight.
And about that time, Magnus and Hanley come in with the board that you had in the back of the truck. And laying on this board is a 12-year-old little brown haired girl. Uh, she's not wearing anything because that's one thing that happens during werewolf transformation is your clothes go to shit.
Oh yeah, I mean you're gonna Hulk out of them.
Right, basically. So she's not wearing anything, and her left leg is laying at an angle that nobody's leg should ever be laying at. She is, however, unconscious because when she shifted back, the pain was so much that she just lost consciousness. Eh, And the doctor immediately gets up and is like, oh, this is a problem. And they take her to one of his guest rooms, and the doctor follows. And after a couple of minutes, Hanley and Magnus walk back out into the living room, and Magnus is like, didn't perceive that I would see you under this circumstances.
Well, I had no idea you were even here. He only didn't mention it when I called him.
Uh, yeah, I came up with Dr. Harris because one of Hanley's staff is ill.
Yeah, the doctor told us that, and that's another big thing that's going on right now because Marcy's uncle's ill with the same thing, and he's one of us, and things aren't looking so good.
Well, so is, yeah, Mr. Hanley's
I
staff,
know.
and which that makes the whole thing considerably stranger. The fact that there's two of us within 5 miles of each other that,
Right. It's not not looking so good right now for a lot of reasons.
oh, and Hanley told me about what happened with the little girl in there.
Yeah, you think that poor thing? I mean, it doesn't look like she'll be all right, but you think your doctor will be able to help at least a little?
Well, oh yeah, he'll be able to set her leg and all that,
Oh, good,
but
because her leg's a mess.
but if the humans are starting to turn on the werewolves and like do attacks like this, that's just gonna inflame the werewolf. And this is odd to say, werewolf population.
Yeah, well, after seeing what they were doing, I kind of want to, pull their heads off myself.
Well, humans aren't the brightest creatures in the world, and when they get frightened, this is what they do.
Yeah, but she was just a little kid. I mean, she couldn't even
Well,
defend herself.
well, they don't see her as a little kid. They
And
say,
when they hit her, the sound it was awful.
they see her as a monster. And remember, these are the same idiots that probably beat their dog for no reason.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and honestly, yeah, werewolves are monsters, but hey, by the same token, aren't we monsters as well then?
Well, yeah, they would see us if they knew we existed. There might have been a mob coming after you like that.
Well, there sort of was after we broke up what they were doing. They started coming after us. I don't think
Yeah,
they knew what we were or whose
no,
side we haven't saw us. They just started coming for us. And that's why I
right,
sort of
yeah,
ran over one of them and killed him.
yeah. Hanley mentioned that. Uh,
But he also mentioned that that never happened, and Hillary and I weren't there, so
right.
that
I
works. We're sticking to
I
that.
I agree with Hanley's, uh, shall we say, representation of the incident. Yeah,
I do too, actually.
the two of you weren't there. We have no idea why there's roadkill in the middle of the street, and the little girl never existed. So,
What are you gonna do with her?
oh, uh, and at this point, Hanley says, "We will let her heal here until her leg is better, and then while she's healing, I'm gonna track down her family because there's no way that there's a little 12-year-old female werewolf that's all by herself.
Right. But I mean, you're not gonna don't kill her or anything, are you?
No, no,
All right.
no. Now, if it was a grown up, I'd have other thoughts about that, but this is a little girl who probably wasn't bothering anybody. But my question is, how'd she get out in the middle of that parking lot by
Right.
herself? Yeah, so, uh, but
Well, my only thought on that would be the humans surprised a pack of them over there, and then she got separated out and caught because she was the slowest and the smallest when they all started running. So something like that.
well, yeah, but I wouldn't have thought her mother would have ran off without her either.
Well, I mean, you'd hope not, but if they were panicked, I mean, you
Yeah,
know, a bunch of
yeah,
humans with weapons, it can be kind of scary, I guess.
yeah. So that's naturally. Sh well, she may have actually tried to run off with the rest of the group, and it was just slower, and you know,
Right. Well, that's what I'm thinking. So
her
maybe,
parent, her
maybe when
parent,
she comes around, you can ask her. Maybe she'd know what happened.
yeah, her parent, her parents may not even notice she was gone yet. So yeah, um, maybe she can give me a way to get a hold of them. But you, you two should go now. uh, it's safer if you're not here right now.
All right.
Uh, and Magnus looks at you and goes, I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
I am too. It'll be fun.
Hopefully by then all this will be taken care of and
Yeah.
we we can enjoy the party without having to deal with this.
I hope so.
And Magnus looks at Hillary and goes, uh, I forgot I forgot to find out who this one is.
Oh, this is Hillary.
She turns to you and goes, so this is the Magnus you were talking about, huh?
Yes, this is
And he
Magnus.
and he's literally like over 6 feet and looks like some, you know, Nordic. Yeah. Basically any girl in Louisville would be falling over themselves to get to him. And she's like, so this is the one you went to the party with, huh?
Well, I met him at the party, yeah.
And Hanley's like, and that was here, by the way. And Hillary's like, oh, wow. And Hanley's like, by the way, what do you do? And Hillary's like, well, I work for Corvus. I'm a, you know, Corvus's head tech person. And Hanley's like, good to know that could be useful at some point. So Magnus uh, takes your hand and helps you up and goes, I will escort the two of you to your truck.
All right, thank you.
And uh, Hanley says goodbye to both of you and heads back into the room where the little girl is. Uh, he, but before he disappeared, he goes, when you get back, Magnus, we need to talk about things. There's too many bothersome things starting to go on. And he's like, I agree completely. And so he basically has takes both of your hands and you're walking, but you're each walking beside him out of down the path to where your truck is. And he opens your door and lets you get in, and then opens uh, Hillary's door and lets her get in, and he comes back around to your side and says, be safe until the party.
I'll try my best. You too.
Things are getting too iffy around here.
Seem to be.
Yeah. And he, he takes your hand and kisses it and puts it back down and gives it back to you. Basically turns and walks away. And as you're pulling out of the Hanley's driveway, Hillary looks at you and goes, how in the world did you find that?
Well, I met him through Hamley at his party.
She's
Uh,
like, and Hillary's like, okay, what kind of parties does Hanley do here that guys like that show up at?
well, they're kind of. Well, there's no really way to get around it, is there? They're kind of BDSM parties. I mean, you've heard the term. You know what that is?
Oh,
Oh shit, you've been around longer than I have. Of course you
yeah,
do.
I'm older than you. I know what that term means, yeah. Didn't know you were into such things.
Well, I didn't either till that party, honestly, but I guess I am.
She thinks for a second because there was a guy at that party that looked like that. I'd be into it even if I wasn't.
So, guess we'll head back to my place.
Yeah.
Werewolf attack, blood all over the porch and all.
Well, no.
Well, they would
The
have taken care of that by now.
yeah, the clean you except for the door, you can't even tell anything happened. So, and after tomorrow, you won't even be able to tell that. So, um,
I'm sorry about the turn tonight took. Wasn't expecting that, but
well, I would have wondered about you had you not wanted to save the little girl. You know, the running over the human was somewhat unfortunate, but we did the right thing.
I mean, if he hadn't been, hitting the poor thing with a baseball bat, I wouldn't have run over him. But
Well, he didn't, he really didn't give you any choice. He was the one that was trying to climb up on the front of your pickup truck.
right,
Yeah, he, he really was basically asking for it almost.
right, and it sounds like I'm not going to be questioned about it anyway. So
Oh, I'm sure that if there is any inquiry, Hanley will make sure that the the cops that you are familiar with will be the ones that handle it. Because,
right, so yeah, might as well just head on home.
sounds good. Hmm. And so, before all this happened, you had apparently, shall we say, unwholesome thoughts in your little vampire brain.
Right.
So, uh, what were you thinking? I take it I'm not going home this year.
Oh, not if I have anything to say about it. No.
Well, you see, that's what I'm asking. Uh,
No, I mean you're going to my home.
well, well, no, I was. uh, I'm, I'm like, you know, not go, not going to your house, picking up my car and leaving. You know,
Oh, I
thing.
hope not.
I sort of got that idea.
I mean, I've got, the blackout curtains and everything, so you're perfectly all right as far as the sun's concerned at my place.
Look, and I'm assuming what you want to do doesn't equate to apparently what you and this Magnus person does.
Well, that's not what I was thinking, no. I mean, I don't have any of the stuff necessary for all that anyway.
Just wanting to make sure what I was walking into or not.
No, no, it wasn't anything like that, but I can tell you we're not going to spend the rest of the night playing poker either. I mean, poker maybe, but not poker.
Yeah. Oh, I generally do that on computer anyway. So, haven't touched an actual deck of cards in 30 years.
Oh,
Uh,
so that's what Corvus pays you to do, huh?
well, are you kidding? Are you kidding? For what he pays me, I have to play poker online to make enough money.
Oh, that's the way it is, huh?
Corvus might be a nice guy, but he's cheap.
Oh, man.
Uh, he wouldn't want me to tell you that, however. But so you guys get to your apartment. Uh, you go inside, close the door, and your text immediately goes off.
Well, I'll take a look at it, I guess.
And and you know exactly who it is. It's like, nice to finally meet you. Your friend too. She's cute. Looking forward to seeing if you're any good at hunting.
So all takes back should be fun.
I I hope so. Maybe we can bring down a couple of rich people. The world would always be better if we could manage that.
True.
Oh, I happen to be in the general area of what happened last night or earlier, because it really wasn't that far from the strip club when all this happened. So I saw that group of guys. Well, technically, I saw them run away.
So I'll text back, what are you talking about? Question mark. We weren't there, period. Winky face.
Yeah. Uh, I'm like, oh, I know the routine. Uh, I'll give you a little heads up. The cops got to the dead guy before the cleanup crew did. Uh, luckily, there's no real way to identify the vehicle that squashed him, but
There's lots of trucks in Kentucky.
so, just a heads up. I'm just saying that the cops do know about the guy.
Hey, well, thanks. I'll keep an eye out.
They, however, the rest of them were gone when the cops showed up, so they don't even know anything about what was going on. But then again, I imagine Corvus and the cleanup crew will have that taken care of, as they always do. So, but uh, and I hope that they actually get your door fixed tomorrow.
Yeah, that's in the works.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of busy right now, so I don't know.
But just as long as it's fixed before Marcia gets back, it's all right. Otherwise,
Uh,
I'm gonna have to explain to her about it. Well, she
yeah.
already knows. Actually, I already did tell her.
Right. Yeah. And then he texts, I've been hearing through various people that I talk to that there's something going on with causing sick kindred.
Possibly. There have been 2 cases that I know of.
Does our um, lovable strip club owner know anything about what's going on?
Yes. Well, I mean, he knows it's happening.
Well, well, you know that one of his staff is one of the people that's.
Right, but I don't trust this guy enough to say anything about that.
Okay. Yeah. So if he knows about it, it must actually be something serious.
I'm hoping it's not too serious, but it doesn't sound good.
Well, that's not good for any of us. I'll dig around with the people that I know and see if I can find out anything. Because that's not normal.
No.
And random viruses that affect vampires that way just don't pop up out of nowhere.
Well, no, I don't think it's any sort of accident.
So somebody's got to be doing this,
Yes.
which means we've got somebody that knows about us and doesn't like us very much.
Right. I mean, I'd like to blame the werewolves, but what's going on with them, I'm not sure they're at fault.
Uh, Werewolves just want to eat humans. Because you notice none of them have attacked us until what happened on your front porch.
Right. Well, he didn't technically attack us anyway. He was attacking a human.
Yeah. That still doesn't explain why he tried to claw your door in, though.
No.
Uh, but by the time we go hunting, I will see if I have any other information.
All right. Thanks.
The two of you have a pleasant end to a rather interesting night. And that's where the text stops.
So I'll turn my phone off to make sure there are no more interruptions.
Hillary's like, That was the guy at the club, I assume.
Yeah, it was.
Does he text you every night?
Pretty much.
Uh, that's a little
Imagine,
weird.
well, he mentioned something about the people he knows, and I'm going to ask him exactly who those are when we go next Sunday when we go
Mm.
hunting. I don't even know what circles he runs with, and I need to know that.
Well, given what he looked like when we met him, he might run with some quote underground types, which
Gangrels and the cats and such.
possibly, and the cats might know what's going on because they are tend to be spy types. That's where he might be getting his info about you.
That's true.
If he's got
I'll have to
one of
ask him that too.
if he's got one of them watching you, you know, at least at this moment he doesn't seem to want to harm you.
Right. Wasn't too sure at first when he broke in and graffitied up our wall.
Uh, well, just because you're going hunting with him doesn't mean you know what his ultimate plan is.
No, that's what I'm trying to find out, honestly. I'm going to be prodding him for answers on some things.
Yeah. Mm. And here I thought I was only coming here for a tech job. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, well, I thought the night was going to turn out a little different than it did. But hey, it just set us back a little bit. I'm like, there's still time.
Well, yeah, you got like maybe 3 hours till
Oh, well, they have plenty of time.
sunrise. You guys spend 3 hours that you, you will definitely need sleep after that. So we will say that you escort uh, Hillary into your room with the blackout curtains, and the two of you fall on your bed. And given the fact that this is the first time and the two of you don't really know each other, how long would you estimate that you spend doing this?
Probably an hour and a half or so.
Okay. Well, um, so I will let you describe it. Is it this soft, gentle thing? Is it this majorly rough thing, or somewhere in between?
Well, us both being vampires, it's not exactly soft and gentle.
Well, well, there is soft and gentle even as far as vampires go, but
I'm gonna say it's somewhere in between kind of thing.
okay. So after about an hour and a half of very vigorous and slightly rough sex, the two of you are especially given what the rest of your night has been like. The two of you are pretty much exhausted. And you basically uh, have just enough energy to, uh, well, you get up because you both have marks on you from each other. And, you know, you head into your bathroom to take a look at, yeah, the aftermath of this. And, yeah, there's marks and bruises. And the, you know, you're not bleeding per se, but you're not that far from it. And you're like, you hear Hillary yell from the bed, like, you mind getting us a cup of blood? I could really use it after that.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So I'll
Eh,
go down and, or out rather, and get us some blood.
grab a couple of mugs of blood and bring them back to the bedroom. She's propped up on a pillow at this point. She looks at you and then looks at herself and goes, we look almost as bad as the guy you hit with the truck earlier.
I think it was a little more pleasant than his experience, though.
Yeah.
Quite a bit more, actually.
Quite a bit longer, too. And didn't take you an hour and a half to run over the guy.
Not true enough.
Yeah. You'd had to like back up and run over him several times for it to take that long. By that time, the cops would have shown up.
Right.
Been like, why are you repeatedly running over this? um, she Hillary puts her cup on the nightstand after taking a couple sips and turns to you and says, uh, that was, I had a very fun uh, end to the evening. I don't know that I would call the rest of it fun, uh,
Right. Yeah, I agree with you there.
but as far as you're concerned, that was a lot of fun.
Well,
So,
maybe we can, you know, do it again.
well, if I'm gonna be here to do your tech stuff twice a week for the foreseeable future, I can definitely see that we could have plenty of opportunities for that.
Yeah.
Let's just skip the,
Skip the injured werewolf puppy and the
yeah,
running over people. Yeah.
well, and for that matter, the strip club was nice, but it's not something I need to do on a regular basis.
All right.
Although the blonde was interesting,
Yeah.
but yeah, we can just do your show and then hopefully do much calmer things after that.
Right.
Oh, I need you to roll in a socialize and expression roll to see what you thought of what just happened.
That was 2 successes. One of them was a 10. Okay, it's 2 successes total.
So, yeah. She got 3. So, both of you very much enjoyed at least the last hour and a half. And the two of you finish your blood, set your cups on the nightstand, and basically, as the sun is barely starting to come up, you um, cuddle into each other's arms, and that's where you fall asleep. And that's where we're gonna call it for the night because
All right.
it's 1:45. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I hope people seeing this enjoy it as much as we did making it because we had a lot of fun.
Always love these role playing games.
And so, if you like our material as much as we do, like and subscribe. Uh, we're discussing a way to start coming out with merch soon. Um, there's just a couple of licensing sort of things I've got to do, and then we'll come up with merch. And um, we and next week hopefully will be Fallen Dragons, and then not too long from now, at the end of March, will be another Call of Cthulhu. So stay tuned for that.
That's always fun. You get to
Yeah.
watch me die.
And hopefully, well, Ian said he's going to play too.
Oh, cool.
So given that everything holds between now and then, it'll be the two of you. Who knows? 10-foot tall killer bunnies throwing exploding Easter eggs at you. Who knows? Yeah. Gotta keep it in the Easter theme and such.
Right. Exactly.
So, but like I said, watch for that because our Call of Cthulhu's are always a lot of fun. And buy all of Robin's books. She's a struggling, starving writer, and you need to, yeah, we need to get her on the New York bestseller list
Right.
here.
Yeah, I
So,
don't think that's ever gonna happen, but yeah.
oh come on, you never know. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, if you are if you are more the podcast type, check out our podcast. It's on 5 different platforms in 5 different countries. So just type in uh, Fallen Dragons RPG podcast and you'll find it. Uh, so, and the link is in the description, just like all of the rest of this stuff is. So, uh, hope we'll see you next week for Fallen Dragons.
See you next time.
And I will say good night.